What you're seeing here is the chat log for the first time I encountered this Mr. Bagel person in my stream. Not only does he lie about Arctic, but he mentions only knowing Fancy a little bit from her video series. The same person harassing a very pretty girl in a completely unrelated tweet just because she follows me on Twitter. The same person harassing another content creator known as Sarah Myers and obsessively referring to me in nearly every tweet. Here is this person's Twitch account, and here's me hovering over and clicking on that Twitter connection on the Twitch account. You'll notice that it doesn't go to the same Twitter account that's been harassing people, but instead goes to a mysterious woman's Twitter account, known only as Birdie Nikki. Here's me hovering over and clicking on their YouTube connection on that Twitch account. Oddly enough, it again goes to somebody known as Birdie Nikki. And when I click on the About Me for Birdie Nikki, there's one link that seems to stand out. You see, the strangest thing is that on FanciAzFhuck's YouTube page About Me, she also has the exact same Patreon link. If you happen to go to tumblr.com/intox, same link as the Patreon for Birdie Nikki, it takes us to FanciAzFhuck again. If you were to go to the link tree on Birdie Nikki's Twitter and check out her portfolio, you would see that some of the Sims media on there matches exactly with some of the Sims media on FanciAzFhuck's Tumblr page. Birdie Nikki is actually FanciAzFhuck. And because MrGarlicBagel has those connections to his Twitch profile, I think it's pretty fair to say that he must be Birdie Nikki. And if he's Birdie Nikki, well then, he's also FanciAzFhuck. That means that the person who's been obsessively tweeting about me, who's been surprisingly out of nowhere fighting for Fancy's cause, who entered my stream chat live to harass me and lie about Arctic, who argued with Sarah Myers for an hour straight, bringing me up almost in every single tweet. That means that the same person doing all that has always been FanciAzFhuck, and I just caught myself one hell of a liar. Don't you worry, even on her main account, FanciAzFhuck will shamelessly encourage people who say that I should go D-word, which I have to assume is die. Remember though, she doesn't condone any of that according to her. She's just a helpless victim. Don't worry, I'll be going over everything from the start. First, I wanted people to see what kind of liar, harasser, and crazy person that Fancy is. I'm probably the one person she never should have messed with, because I don't give a fuck how people think of me or how much they hate me. I've done that since the Evil Dead days. And unfortunately for her, her fantasy world is about to come crashing down to reality. I didn't monetize this video, but I hope you guys enjoy watching. First, let me give a little bit of background about what exactly happened. I had noticed on Twitter that someone posted an extremely overdramatic paragraph that insulted an unnamed content creator for making a build video about the newest hands build that allowed you to attack over 70 times in a row without running out of stamina. While this wasn't specifically revealed here, Fancy later confirmed this fact in a Google Doc that she wrote. This fact is important for later because I also had created a video about hands. I quoted this tweet and I asked what kind of loser would make content like that. I bet it was one of those damn family mains. Later on, I realized it might be entertaining to have a debate with this person. However, the next day I found myself already blocked. So I tweeted out a screenshot of the block and lamented how I'd never be able to ask them to have a debate about TCM. To my surprise, it wasn't long after that she had unblocked me, and also quote tweeted me seeming interested in the debate. She ultimately told me to message her on Discord in order to set it up. A little bit less than 2 weeks later, Fancy chose to back out of the debate, blaming me as the reason for it, even though the last thing I said was that Wednesday worked perfect and I asked what time would be the most convenient for her. I responded by letting her know I was disappointed, but it's okay, no hard feelings. Right after that message, I tweeted how Fancy had officially backed out of the debate, and that she did so with a really lame excuse. I said that because, well, that's what happened. I then went to sleep not expecting anything more, but woke up to a long-ass insulting message on Discord. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I was probably unprofessional and a little bit pissed off. So after I saw that, I tagged Fancy one more time and called her out for DMing me all that bullshit and then blocking me before I could even respond, since I thought that was a pretty lowball move. After this, I was told that Fancy had claimed I was harassing her. She of course had blocked me so I couldn't see the tweets to see that, but luckily for me, she's doubled down on it in several different mediums. She also seemed to claim a narrative where I couldn't take no for an answer when she backed out of the debate, which contradicts the evidence here, where I said, okay, no hard feelings in the DMs, and also immediately announced that she had backed out on Twitter. The only other tweets regarding Fancy have been me defending myself against her obvious lies. And for the record, thanks to Fancy's fake narrative about what happened, now some of her supporters are writing shit like this, and trying to get me in trouble as a content creator. Even in her recent Google Doc, Fancy keeps pushing the narrative that I just couldn't handle rejection, and is purposely misleading her audience at my expense in order to make herself look better. Now that we have some background, let's go ahead and look at what a hypocrite Fancy has been. Not only in what she's said, but what she's done, including harassing me and others on alternate accounts, while eerily pretending to be other real people. First, let's look at one of Fancy's own tweets, where she appears to hint that there's something being hidden in our DMs, and even asks me to post them. After I do exactly that and go over every single DM from start to finish on my stream, because I have nothing to hide, Fancy later uses that as an insult, claiming that she doesn't, quote, leak DMs like Alucard. So first she dares me to post the DMs, and then after I do, she repeatedly criticizes me for it. Fancy labels harassment as making multiple posts about somebody in a negative light. However, she does exactly that in regards to referencing me in a negative light. Even on just her main account, it's to a disturbing degree. So if I'm harassing her, then I guess she is super harassing me. What's also disturbing is Fancy on her alternate account MrGarlicBagel tells Sarah Myers that nobody should ever view or try to contact somebody after they're blocked, yet she's doing exactly that on her alternate account. And it's very disturbing that because she thinks nobody knows she's on this alternate account, she feels safe to harass the shit out of them. The main takeaway from this is that Fancy likes to pretend to be some innocent victim on her main account, but will harass the living shit out of people and be an asshole to them on an account that she thinks no one will ever figure out is her. Finally, I'd like to go over at least some of the many lies that Fancy has told so far. Fancy makes a very bold claim in her first Google Doc where she said that there was going to be no neutral moderator and only one screen would be shared. However, in my very first message to her, I said she could invite a friend to be a moderator because I wanted her to have someone that she trusted in the call, and she acknowledged that fact in the next message. As for only a single screen being shared, I had assumed that Fancy was going to stream her side of the debate, and we never had a discussion on it. So both these things are extremely misleading, if not just completely untrue. She then states that I circled around a tweet someone had written, which is true, but she also says that I seemed to think she wrote it from an alt account. However, I didn't. I never even said that once throughout the entire defense stream I did about the drama.
I didn't want to like force a debate. I didn't want to force them to, do something they didn't want to do. I tried to make sure at every avenue that they were comfortable. That's why I said they could have a friend with them. I encouraged a friend to be with them in the call. I thought it'd be more entertaining if they ganged up on me. So I low-key wanted that, like I said. That's why I said that shit. I didn't want them to feel like they were ganged up. I was trying to be considerate of them and shit. That's why I even tried to tell them some topics first, so they have some, like, they can actually plan out an assault on me. It's not just, everything improvised like it was versus Rapid Main. I was trying to help them out here. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to do it. I thought it'd be entertaining. I didn't expect all this drama. But, hey, listen. People are interested in the drama. They want to see it. Hey, I have nothing to hide. The truth here is no question. Feel free to ask me anything. There's nothing else. Anything else that I've written in regard to her is publicly tweeted. You can check it yourself. You can judge it yourself. You can hate on it yourself or whatever. The only things I did were that I added her was quoting these DMs right here. And then since then, I might have referenced her defending myself, but I didn't add her after that. So that's what I wanted to talk about. She blocked you too, and you don't even have Twitter.
They went so far as to make a terribly stupid comprehensive Google Doc with a stamp that says debunked, as though somehow, without using any facts or logic, they managed to prove something. One of their examples that supposedly proves Arctic stole something pits one of Fancy's videos, which probably hardly anyone saw, no offense, of her supposed 15 toughness Sunny challenge against his Sunny build video that happened to have 15 toughness, where Arctic just put all his points into proficiency, and so by default, toughness had to stay at 15. In fact, 2 of her perks are completely different, with Choose Flight being the only one they had in common and what every single victim would run until it got nerfed. When Fancy claimed that Arctic must have stole her thumbnail and ideas for the Virginia reveal video, she might as well be accusing Slash and Cast of the same thing. Claim is obviously a lie that's spawned by Fancy's delusional narcissistic behavior. Personally, I am offended that she would dare lie about the Mr. Beast of the TCM community. Even though Fancy definitely fucked up by harassing me and other people, especially through the psychotic use of alt accounts, I don't want anyone to harass her or bother her. She just needs help. I had to tell the truth, I had to expose her lies, and I had to defend myself. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you liked this video, make sure to like, follow, subscribe, and all that other stuff that every other guy tells you to do. See you later.